Hey guys, so tonight I'm going to be cooking a super easy pasta for you. This pasta is always good when you don't really feel like cooking, when you're pressed for time and you don't have a whole lot of time for cooking. It's also cheap, something that you can just run to the grocery store, grab really quick when you're on a budget. It stretches so it feeds a lot. And these are the pasta noodles that we like. I love them because they're made with actual vegetables. So I usually love to make my sauces from scratch, but today when I'm in a rush or like I said, don't feel like cooking, then I just use hummus,
garlic,
so we got our kale, mushrooms, squash and zucchini, cabbage, onion, tomato, sun-dried tomatoes, and spices. Alright, so let's get started.
The first thing you want to do is chop all the vegetables. I like to peel the cabbage before I cut it just because it's easier that way versus cutting it first and then have to peel it apart. When I cut kale, I like to use the whole vegetable, the stem and all. I do this with pretty much every vegetable. Everything but the hard piece is edible. For the whole mushrooms, just pop the buttons out in the middle and slice. I prefer to cut everything in very small pieces just because I like to get lots of vegetables and different tastes within every bite. After you cut all the vegetables, just throw them in a strainer and set aside for later. Then you want to peel and cut your garlic and add that straight to the saute pan, as well as the sun-dried tomatoes. And I like to do the sun-dried tomatoes last just because they're soaked in oil and it gets pretty messy.
So first, we're going to cook the noodles. I usually just cook them the way that the package says. So the package says for 9 minutes. So we'll boil the water and then we'll put the noodles in for 9 minutes.
Once water reaches a boil, you want to set the timer to the 9 minutes or whatever your package says. And then I use about half the pack of noodles and I split them in half so that they can fit in the pan. Then I season with a little pink Himalayan sea salt. So now you can turn on the heat for the sun-dried tomatoes and the garlic. And I like to cook this first because the sun-dried tomatoes has oil and I use that for the vegetables when I saute them. I don't add any extra. And after a couple minutes, you want to wash the vegetables real good and then you can add them to the pot to be sauteed. Once I add the vegetables to the pan, I then start to season it with the sea salt, Italian seasoning, black pepper, cayenne pepper, and paprika. And it's just to your liking. I don't like a whole lot of salt or a whole lot of seasoning just because I love raw vegetables. So I don't put a ton, but I do like it pretty seasoned. Remember, seasoning is just herbs, so it's really not bad for you. The only thing that you should be conscious of is the sodium, which is salt. So a lot of the seasonings that I get, I make sure that they don't have any salt added and that the only salt that I put in my dishes is the salt that I put in. Once the noodles are done, I strain them and rinse with cold water. This helps with sticking and becoming soft. Then I add the noodles to the pan of vegetables and just mix all together to get the seasoning all in the noodles.
For the sauce, we're going to use hummus and it's going to be so quick and easy. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe going vegan is this easy. Yes, I know, girl. So, hummus. I like to get the red pepper just because that's the best one to me. When it comes to hummus, honestly, it's hit or miss. They're either really good or not good. So I get the red pepper and the roasted garlic. Those two, to me, pair really well together, especially when you're making pastas. Now, if you're trying to eat hummus and pita chips or hummus and cucumber, that's a different story on terms of which hummus to pick. This strictly for pasta, it really doesn't matter. I'm not pressed on the brand. I only got this brand because it was buy one, get one free, honestly. But I did taste it beforehand, and it's good.
So I use about a scoop of each hummus, and I just add it to the pan and mix it all together.
And just like that, folks, we're all done. You just put the hummus in. You can spice it up a little bit more, just at your discretion, whatever you like. This is your meal, your dinner, so get what you like. Like, I want you to do what feels right versus going straight by the book, because everybody's palate is different. Everybody's taste buds are different. I like to halfway cook my vegetables because I like more nutrients. I like a raw diet. So when I do eat cooked food, I still like to feel the crunch. But if you don't eat raw vegetables, then your palate may not be ready for that. Your taste buds may not be ready for that. So you may want to cook the vegetables a little longer when you saute them. It just depends on what you like. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make this for yourself and enjoy this goodness. It only takes like 20 minutes, as you guys seen. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe below.